Hi. So today I'm going to talk about something a little bit different than, yeah, it's a different topic. Not, okay. So today I just really want to talk about how did I overcome a chronic fear of water. And it can be applicable to any fear that we have, that we almost unconsciously, or sometimes very much consciously, nurture in our deep psyche. So, let me give you a little bit of background here. I, as long as I remember, since my very, very early childhood, I think since my born, I don't know, it's like I have this deep pull towards water body. It could be river, it could be just bathing in the um shower, or like ocean, pond, lake, just you name it. I have this immense pool. I feel like I do really belong in water, like underwater somewhere. That's always have been my, such a deep, compassionate, and belonging that I feel towards water. But since I remember in my childhood, even like all my life, I have been so afraid of water. It's like the thing that I love the most, that I feel like I can feel home. I don't really feel home anywhere. Um, I don't have a sense of belonging. I feel like it transitions, it changes, it changes, and I don't have any permanent state of, okay, this is my home or something like that. But when it comes to water, I feel like this unconscious knowledge that I belong there, and at the same time this paralyzing fear that I have felt all my life. Everything is like, many things have been so easy for me to learn. Like, I can learn new language like in 2 months. Like, really not kidding. I came to Indonesia like for, it's been 6 months here, and I already speak the language. I speak so many languages. I have no problem like learning new stuff. I'm very eager to learn. And but when it comes to swimming, believe it or not, I never learned swimming. I never learned swimming until like 2 months ago or 3 months ago. It's like unbelievable. And I tried so many things because I really love water body, and I really wanted to be able to be swim and be in the water and just be there. And I tried so many things. I tried to oh my god, ask my parents. I mean, I drove them crazy. Like, I need to, when I was a kid, I need to go to this swimming pool, that swimming pool. I will change swimming pool. I will be, after 1 week maximum, I will be like, okay, I cannot go there. I don't know what happened. It's like something is between me and my ability to learn swimming, or my ability to be in the water body like relaxing there. Something is there that is so bigger than me that I couldn't achieve no matter how much I wanted to do. And I'm a kind of person, if I like something, if I really feel connected, I am a very feel based my feeling motivates me, emotion motivates me, feelings mostly motivates me. If I feel right in my heart, I will go all the way. I will go all the way. And swimming is something that I love so much. Like, there was no way that somebody can stop me from learning it. But something was keep happening. I don't know what was happening. I couldn't learn. you know, I everywhere I went, you know, in the school, when I went to college, when I, you know, anywhere, if I find a swimming pool or something, I will try, I will I even learn, you know, I but I one thing I knew that, you know, after refusing to go to swimming pool and learning from a trainer or something, I knew that s- I don't know if my deep knowing, I knew even at a very early age that nobody can teach me swimming. This is something that I have to teach myself. There is, I did not know at the time, you know, all these other, you know, psychic realm, and you know, like now I know so much about, you know, like energy, so much about like other world and exist, and how that affects our psyche, affects our being, affects our overall existence. And but the time, and I was like, you know, I was like pretty much normal, like normal like pretty much regular kind of city kid, you know, who is like, oh, you know, like, okay, going to, you know, go to school, do all these skills, learning all these skills, and going to play, like nothing, some, you know, I've always been drawn to nature, but never really, it's not like that I'm purposefully, consciously learning from the nature. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna be outside when it's raining. Okay, I'm gonna pick up some mangoes when I'm going to my country house when it is storm out there and the mangoes are just keep falling from the trees. I'm just gonna go and snatch them. You know, like those kind of wild things was there in me, but never really learning from it consciously. So but I did not know all these different existence outsides of our limited human existence, that we limit ourselves. So I was like, okay, but even in that little consciousness, I knew that swimming is something that nobody can teach me. So I stopped going to any kind of trainer or something. So I started going to different, you know, like wherever I can find like secure water body, but I didn't want to jump into the pond not knowing how depth it was, because I did not know. So it was more secure for me to go to a, you know, college campus swimming pool, or you know, like you know, like if I'm going to someone's office, and if they have a swimming pool, if there's an apartment building, if there is a swimming pool, if there's a community swimming pool, so I will find all these kind of places where I can be securely, I know that I can be safe, you know, and so I will learn. So I started learning, and then after doing that, I started learning the strokes, like hand stroke, but I couldn't lift my, believe it or not, it's so funny. It's so funny. I'm like, now at the time I was like full grown adult, all the kids are doing all these things, and I'm like, okay, um um like swimming cannot lift my head to breathing. It was like, and sometimes people, like kids will laugh, kids are like so honest and like brutally honest, sometimes they will laugh at me, and I say, okay, it's okay, I'm like you. So you know, it's like a lot of things happened with this. So and then, but it's like I never knew how to how to learn. I couldn't learn, as simple as that. um and then I think 2 years ago, 2 years ago, but in my mind, you know, I will be always searching for the answer, like something is not settling in my mind. I'm like, why the heck I cannot learn it? There is something needs to be there that I have to tap into. I you know, I could not know the reason. And so that was like all this year, it was in my head, it was in my mind, it was in my psyche, like what is going on, what is behind this reason, I need to figure it out, I need to figure it out. So and then I will be, you know, like I you know, there will be time that I will be obsessively, I love ocean life, seriously. If I, that's my like, if I could just leave, if I could just stay under the water, like on the ocean bed forever, I mean that would be my ultimate place. But you know, but so I will be watching like underwater activities, like free diving. I will be watching like hours and hours footage of underwater oceanography and their life, and just the, you know, just the sound of it, it feels like, oh my god, I am like, it's sinking in my body in so deeply that I feel like I can fall asleep. It's just so peaceful and so home. It just feels, gives me a feeling of home. And so I will be watching all these things for years. And not all the time. Sometimes it will be much more obsessive way, and sometimes I will not watch anything for years. But it will be always in my mind. It will be always in my mind. So 2 years ago, I was doing meditation. I started doing meditation, like now it's been few years. And 2 years ago, and I do, like, sometimes I go such a deep meditational state that it's very, 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 very healing. And I remember 2 years ago I was doing this. Uh, yeah, I was in New York in my room, and I was doing this deep meditation. And my room was like pretty, and it's a small New York room, and pretty dark at night. I was like, at night I was just laying on my bed, and I was doing this deep meditation. And I had no aim, I had no intention that I want to do specific things with the meditation. I was just meditating, meditate, and I went such a deep trance mode. People say that when you go to trance mode, like trance state of meditation, you don't remember what happened, but I really do remember. I remember all my meditation. And so I went this deep trance mode. I felt like, I really felt my body is like, I can feel all the nuances of intricacies of movement of my body, or my psyche, of my mind. I felt my body is leaving, my soul is leaving. And my body is so heavy that I couldn't even like move a finger. But I'm still aware of all these things, how it is maneuvering through the space that I was in. And then I saw, I had no intention, but I think it was past life regression or something. Then I saw, okay, before I say this, since my childhood, I used to have dreams which is very recurring, and those dreams are, not like, it's not, it's like, so I knew those dreams have some significance, because it is not like any day-to-day dreams, or so abstract, or it's not nightmare. It just I felt that it has something substantial that is trying to communicate with me. But I was not, I did not have tool. I was not there to catch those dreams. So but it kept coming to me. I dreams that comes to me is mostly repetitive dreams. Until that dream 2 years ago, I used to get mostly repetitive dreams before, you know because it felt like something is trying to communicate with me, and it's like knocking the door every, now and then, just to see whether I am ready to receive it or not. But I was not ready, so it's like kept going back, but keep coming back, keep coming back. So I had these fragments of dreams, of me in the water body. And sometimes I, like, it's just the sensation that I would feel. I don't know how to explain this dream. Is this a very visceral, sensual dream? It's not abstract, but it just, when you are completely immersed in feelings, it's very hard to describe the formative structure of reality. So it's very, yeah, that kind of dream that I was feeling, I was getting, and it's mostly associated with water body. So, and then this 2 years ago, when I was doing this meditation, I was feeling this, then these dreams, this sensation, then started forming some kind of, almost like a storyline. And then the first time I saw, oh my god, I'm getting, whew. Then the first time I saw, very clearly I saw that I am under, like, there is like a big pool, but it's not like a modern day pool. It's like, like back in the like 1600, 1700. I remember once I went to, I love history and culture. And once I remember when I was like, I think when I was like in my right after my graduation undergrad, I went with my friend, we went to this palace, to visit palace, historical place. And I saw there is like a, it's like, no, it's like all everything in the palace is now for exhibition. So I was just roaming around, and we kind of split up, my friend and I, because we wanted to experience this, you know by our own presence, like solitary. And that day not many people was there, it was not a tourist season or anything, and so it was like pretty isolated. And that palace is not like the tourist guide with, like, you can just roam on your own, and I remember I was walking, and then I entered into a room, and it was like a very like old ancient kind of dome kind of structure, and it's very big. And the moment I entered into, even my footstep was started echoing. And then I saw it's like empty, and then it's like it's in that time, I think it was 1700 or 1800, royalty. At that time, maybe before that, they used to have, if you google it, they used to have swimming pools. But their swimming pools are very different than our swimming pool. Around a modern swimming pool, it's like their swimming pool is all the same height, and their swimming pool is so deep. It's like two-storied or three-storied building. Literally, it's like I don't know, 50, 60 meter, or um 100, 200 feet, something, I don't know, something like that. And how they used to swim, so they have this metal stairs, and that goes all the way down from the top. So you can go down and then you can climb up. But it's very, but at that time there was no water, of course, because nobody's swimming, it's just for exhibition. But the swimming pool was there. And I remember when I first glanced at that swimming pool, oh my god, I felt like my heart stopped. And I was like, I was literally alone in this big room with this echoey thing. But it did not I was not afraid of that. But the moment I saw the swimming pool, it felt like on a cellular level, some memory just woken, and I did not know what it is. But I just got such a heaviness and panic attack. I couldn't breathe. I was like completely froze. It felt like a huge giant mountain all of a sudden on my chest. It felt that kind of like, ooh, like almost like this moment sucked me into a way past of time that I cannot fathom, my body cannot handle. And then I came back from that palace, and I went on with my, but I never said this thing to anybody. And I was like, but it always on my mind again, another thing just added on, always on my mind. I was like, what's going on with me, what is this thing? I never said anybody to anybody, because you know I knew that nobody will understand me at the time. But now people are more conscious. People are getting to know about other realm. But like few years ago, it was few years ago, and I was like, oh my god, I cannot. It's not that I was looking for sharing something. I also, I'm eighth house moon, so obviously I don't like to share things much. I know it's like I was just keeping my things in my in me, and just trying to figure it out on my own, and trying to get in touch with the senses and other realm. So anyway, so that, now going back to the dream, so I saw in the dream that I am not necessarily in that swimming pool, but something similar. Like it is like that time and age, and my hands and my feet are tied with ropes, and I am under the water. And oof, and then in that in that meditational state, it revealing me. I'm not, there is no point of saying the whole dream or meditational revelation, but I, it's like a past life, I don't know which life, but past life sensation. I was in some of my past life, one of my past life, my medicine past life, I was, you know, drowned purposefully. And on a cellular level, I have this subconscious fear of water. I will, if possible, I will share some photos of my childhood, how much I'm crying every time I'm in the ocean. And I love to be in the ocean, like, I don't think, I mean, that could be for the sake of saying, but I really feel like nobody could love water like I do. It's like such a, you know, I'm pretty sure other many people can love water like I do, but it feels like that ultimate devotion. So after I had this dream, and I was pretty sure, I was like, there was no doubt, there was like, after having this meditational state, I was like, there was no doubt, all my life I'm like, is this that, what is going on? There's a sense of searching, but the moment I had that, I knew this is what happened. There is like a ultimate knowing within me that okay, this is what happened. But knowing that was not helping me to get rid of the fear. But now at least I knew what is the origin of that fear. It's not in this life, but it's like on my cellular level. That's why they say our soul remember everything. Whether you believe it or not, that's up to you. But I truly believe, and it's like our soul incarnate, and it remembers everything. If we get into that level, we can remember everything. And purposefully we don't remember, because we don't have to remember what happened in past life. It's more of a how we are, but our soul remembers. So we have the wisdom. We just need to able to access those knowledge, old ancient knowledge that a soul, our body remembers on a cellular level. So I knew that this is what had happened. So okay, so I knew that okay, so this is the origin of my fear. But okay, so I always go to beach, and if wherever I am, I always try to find a beach or water body, and I go there almost as much as I can. So I was going, but still, like, I couldn't go to New York and the beach and just jump into the ocean. No, I couldn't do that. I can spend hours and hours at the bay. I could admire, I could imagine me being in the ocean and completely feeling that, but not really physical body going there. Still, the fear was so imminent that it was not possible for me. But then I don't know what took me here in Indonesia. I mean, which country could be better other than it's like surrounded by water, surrounded by ocean, surrounded by seas, and I don't know, maybe that's why universe took me here. I never thought of coming to Indonesia because it's just never crossed my mind, because my mind was something much, it's like, I don't know, it was more, I don't know, I did not think about Indonesia. Um, when I came to Indonesia, I did not know swimming, but all the time I'm surrounded by water, and I will go in the water. I will swim my way of swimming without breathing, so like few strokes and then stand up. So I couldn't go deep, of course. And then, but I was, my fear of water getting less and less and less and less. And then I realized gradually, I realized that it's actually, it's okay if I don't know swimming. It's about interacting with water itself, how I'm feeling, like, so I will. And then I realized that there is no, okay, I'm fear of drowning, but I am fear of I am fearful of drowning. I was. And so then I realized, no, it just go in the water, just interact with the water. You don't have to think about drowning because you're not going anywhere deep where you can drown. So just interact with the water, just interact with this extension of you. And I started doing that deliberately, like consciously. This time I'm really doing consciously because I know the origin of fear. So this is how it is important to know where does fear coming from. Then I never knew that, because once you know that, it's so easy. It's really easy, like I'm to really navigate that. It starts communicate with you, it gives you solution, it gives you um way to communicate, it shows path, it really does. And so once I got to know, before that I was like completely lost, I was like so overwhelmed by this fear, not knowing where it's going, not knowing where it's coming from, how to interact with it, how to overcome this. I was like constantly on my mind, but it's not never really a clear way to do something. So and then I know, like, and then he started telling me that, something, he started telling me that you love water, just love the water for what it is. And I went into the water every day almost, whenever I can. And um and then Indonesia, it's so easy to be by the water, and I started living, like picking places where I want to live, right next to the water, like really right now. My, you can even hear the ocean waves. So today is very calm, so maybe you cannot, and the door is closed, but it's very very near, like it's literally like 10 feet, like literally 10 feet. So I started picking places where I can just go to swimming whenever I can, and then, believe it or not, I learned swimming. One day I'm like, oh my god, I can actually swim. I did not, I was not forcing myself to learn it. I was just interacting with water, and I knew that whenever I'm gonna go, there is no fear. No fear. I love, I sometimes I will go in the water and I will whisper under the water. I said, I love you. I love you. Please, I want to belong. Like I will communicate, like and I will interact with water, like I'm hugging this water. Oh my god, such a sensation of belonging, such a sensation of reciprocation. Water loved me back. Water loved me back so much, like I felt such a healing every time I go in the ocean and come back. I felt like, oh my god, this is like everything, like all the fatigue, everything is gone, like all the, it feels like almost like a new life. And then I started learning, then I did not even try, and then I started learning swimming. And see, this is, I learned by myself. I mean, I even did not learn by myself, it just came to me. I knew that from the beginning of my, I knew that this is something that nobody can teach me, not even myself can teach myself. It has to come to me. It has to come to me with the divine timing, because there is something. It's not just swimming, it's not just a physical activity for me. This is something linked to something much deeper in my psyche. So I have to treat it like that. So then I started learning swimming, then I started, and now I do and then I started, and then I know swimming, it's not a conventional swimming, it's like, so I know all the different style that nobody even see, nobody even know, because it just, I'm just interacting with the water. So whichever way I'm feeling like, I'm doing it, and it become a size style. And so now, since then, like last 2 3 months, every day I go to the ocean every day. I mean, if it is storm and all that, sometimes I don't go. Even then, like yesterday, it was raining. I was like, but it was not storming, but it was raining. But I'm okay. So this is the irony. I couldn't learn swimming in the swimming pool in a safe place that most of the people learn, or lake or something. I learned in the ocean, in the Pacific and the Indian Ocean. Like seriously, the open water. And that's where I need to learn. And now, it's like, I don't know, it just gives me so much, like it just gives me so much of knowledge, whenever I'm in the ocean, and it keeps giving me so much of upliftment of my spiritual life. It tells me that, like, out there in the universe doesn't want to harm you. We fear universe because there is something is going on in our old, either in this life or past life, or something deep down in psyche that we project onto universe. Oh, there is a ocean is fearful, dangerous. Oh, shark is dangerous, this and that. It's like, it's not, it's like ultimately we are all the, it is the energy that we emit. come back to us. We are constantly, our feelings, our emotion, we are broadcasting this, whether we know it or not. Seriously, people who are receptive, people who are very sensitive, they will pick it on. Most of the people don't, because they are not sync with their reception, and we feel like we are not broadcasting, but we are. And people, and let me tell you one thing, this is I felt like water, water animal, if you study water, like marine life, they are extremely sensitive to signaling. Like a shark, they can smell your, like they can smell blood from, like, I don't know, 100 miles away. They can feel the energy magnetic field of human being like 100 miles away. Not on human being, that's how they, like anybody, like a creature in the ocean, they are extremely sensitive because they don't have sense of fear. They really don't. Like, because whenever I go to the ocean, I try, I'm like, okay, I stand in the ocean for, before I actually go in, I'm like, okay, standing, really adjusting my psyche. I am here to love you, I'm not here to fear you. And I go in with this vibration of love, with the vibration of joy, with the vibration of really enjoying nature that I always wanted to. Finally, I can, and I'm not gonna lose it with fear, fearing this. So it's like so much of acceptance and love. I go in, and when I go in, I feel this love back. Sometimes, sometimes I go and nobody's swimming in the ocean and it's raining. I feel a little fear, but then I adjust. It takes me 5 minutes. It doesn't happen automatically. It takes me 5 minutes to really come to this vibration of love and acceptance, and then ocean accepts me. And it's like it feels so. And now I know, I'm gonna tell you. Someday I feel fearful. I'm not. Someday there are days when I feel fearful, and I can feel that I'm losing my rhythm of swimming. My body cannot move. So for me, swimming is not just another thing of exercise, right? So my swimming, my being in the water, ability to be in the water, directly linked with my vibration. So if I'm fearful within, I feel like, because I immediately fear ocean, and then I feel like that fear consumes me and my body feels steep. I feel like I'm gonna, that fear comes back, and I stop moving. It's just so, it's amazing that how things are so visible and so immediately recognizable. It's like unbelievable. And so, when I'm going with this vibration I have of, that universe only wants to love us, and it really works. It really works. And now I don't fear water anymore. I feel like, oh my god, my best part of my day is when I go into the water, and I spend every day almost 2 hours swimming, or being in the water. And god, I'm feeling like crying. It's like it took me what, decades to really overcome this fear. And yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful how it feels. It's beautiful that, when we submit to love, how everything is so easy. If you don't submit to love, then it feels like just words, because then you feel like, oh, do you know how hard it is, this and that. Because when you're coming from fear perspective, everything feels so hard. But when it comes from this fear, like electromagnetic field of love, electromagnetic field that believe that, we are born here, s- not to be killed or not to be tortured. And if we emit that love, it happens. It, and the same psychology, I think, same vibration goes with anything. Like, whether most of the people I hear here, oh, I don't go to open ocean, open water body swimming, because I'm afraid of shark, afraid of this, afraid of that. But when you are afraid, you are putting out this afraid, like fearful. Or when you are not afraid, when you are afraid, you try to be more aggressive to overcome, and then you get him giving away this competitive. And ocean creature are very sensitive to feelings. Ocean creature are very, our land creature are not that much. We have to do meditation, we have to do a lot of work to get into that, but ocean bodies are by birth, I think naturally they are very sensitive. They are very sensitive to picking on energies like nothing else. So when you are going to the water with fear, or going to the water with this competitive nature of, I'm gonna conquer it, that kind of, because like so-called predators in water are very they can smell the competitiveness in you and fear in you, like Scorpio smell bullshit, this so but when you go there with love, when you go there and then your body calm, your body relax, body melt with the surroundings, you become an extension of that surroundings you are in, and then everything falls in nature like place. And um same with animals, if like all this fear, any kind of fear, it really works well. So I just wanted to share that with you, because I feel very good about it. Okay, all right. I'm gonna come up with the next video on archetypical um energy of zodiac. I think I did Capricorn last week, 2 days ago or 3 days ago. I'm gonna do Sagittarius maybe tonight or tomorrow. All right, bye bye.